Tastemakers, is Maxine, your favorite wine specialist, guiding you on your journey through fine wine. And today is Champagne Day. You all know that I love champagne. It is my favorite style of wine. I love all types of wine, but if I was on a deserted island, I would take champagne. If that was the last wine I had to drink. So we know that I love champagne. And last week, I hosted a group of fabulous ladies to a champagne soiree. It was such a fun night, fabulous night, featuring 5 really great wines, a lot of smaller producers, and then we did have some big producers, but more so champagne aficionado, champagne enthusiast type champagnes, ones that you may not see readily unless you are looking for different styles of champagnes. But the ladies loved it. The ladies that were invited to this party were champagne enthusiasts, so they were thrilled at what they were able to learn, and there were some new favorites, and we just had a ball. So in today's episode, I will be teaching you on how to throw your own champagne party, because everybody needs a champagne party, and it was like so fly. I'm totally gonna do this again, but I'll tell you this was not my first champagne party. This is the first champagne soiree, but when I turned 29, which is last year, you know, but when I turned 20 for my 29th birthday, I had a champagne party, and it was just so fabulous, and I always wanted to recreate that. So I was like, you know what, it's Champagne Day in celebration of it, let's do it. So I'm going to teach you 5 methods that I use on how to create your own champagne party, and I can't wait to see you all recreate this for your own party. Let's get into it. Now, you know we cannot talk about champagne and have an episode without talking about what is in my glass. That's the favorite part, right? So we are drinking for this episode the Louis de Sacy Originel. This is one of my new favorites that I discovered while living in Houston. This has 52% Pinot Noir, 46% Chardonnay, and 2% Pinot Meunier. This is a brut champagne, and I featured the Louis de Sacy Rosé as one of the featured champagnes for the champagne soiree. That was the champagne that I greeted my guests with. And to go into this, first step is, what is your theme? What is it that you want your guests to learn? Do you want to have a grower champagne theme? Do you want to have a sweetness level where you only feature brut champagnes or brut naturel, or you just talk about sweetness levels? Do you want to talk about some popular producers? What is your theme? What is it that you want your guests to walk away with? And you can even do a champagne party featuring some of your favorite champagnes. I think that would be fabulous. I may do that one next. I mean, this one featured my favorites. But the point is, have a theme for your champagne party, because you want your guests to walk away with learning something. And I would highly encourage you, even if you are doing your favorites or whatever theme you come up with, make sure you share some knowledge with your guests, because they are attending your party to learn. You don't want this to just be a party that they just come over and drink your champagne. I mean, that's cool, but trust me, you'll get tired of it. Trust me. Anyway, let me get back to the point. Have a theme and make sure your guests are learning something. So that could be, you could be teaching them something about their particular champagne house. You could be teaching them something about on why it's your favorite and what was a cool memory that you had associated with it. So come up with the theme. That is our first one. And also, with coming up with the theme, you want to determine how many bottles you want to feature. I decided to feature 5 bottles because with each bottle I had a food pairing with it, and also had a story. So figure out how many bottles you want to feature for your champagne party. Before I get into suggestion number 2, I realized I did not tell you how the Louis de Sacy tastes. We got to get into that one. So on the nose, you're going to pick up notes of biscuit and apple. Upon my favorite part, the tasting, you will enjoy notes of apple, berries, some red fruit berries that I am picking up from that one. Also a hint of stone fruit. Also you get this nice, elegant, toasty note that is just present. I noticed it the first time and I let this wine get like kind of room temperature to pick up a little bit notes, and I definitely got the toast again. It's just beautiful. It's very well balanced because it's leading with the Pinot Noir, so it's definitely giving this champagne some structure. And also it will finish off with like a citrus zest on the finish. This is just a nice drinking champagne that does not disappoint. Great as an aperitif, or I would even eat it with breakfast. Y'all know I just love champagne and brunch. Also, I would do a nice fried option with this one. One of the featured wines that we had were fried chicken wings. As we know, that is just a perfect pairing for champagne, and I always think that's so cool when people learn that one. So I would definitely pair with that. I would do a chicken and waffles combo with this one. Now let's get into number 2. As you notice, I am not drinking out of a flute. I am drinking out of all-purpose white wine glass, and you want to do a white wine glass for this because if you're doing a tasting and you are educating your guests, you want them to be able to detect the notes, especially if you are treating your guests with really nice champagne. You want them to detect and be able to appreciate the aromas that the winemaker designed the champagne to be. So you want them to be able to sniff, taste, and just really enjoy the evening. Now, I am definitely a champion of the flute. The flute never disappoints. It always looks pretty. And you can do a flute if you like, again, depending on how it is that you want to teach your guests. Now, a rule of thumb that I probably said on a previous episode, if you are buying stemware for your champagne party and you're not using the stemware in your home, you want to follow the rule with stemware. You want to buy what you can break. So I would not suggest for you to go out when preparing for your champagne party, buy all this expensive stemware and a glass gets broken and then you're upset and you have to replace the glass that you really don't want to. Don't buy cheap stemware. Don't buy cheap stemware. But I think it's a stemware video. I think I need to go a little bit more in depth with stemware. Anyway, buy what you can break and use an all-purpose white glass. Again, the flutes are fine. If that's what you want, if that's part of your theme, go with the flutes. Also, I would suggest in stemware, come up with a charm or something to identify the glass. There were a few occurrences when some of the ladies lost their glass. It was such a great time. They were having a grand time, and everyone has on their lipstick, different color lipsticks, similar lipsticks, or someone put their glass down to run to the restroom or somewhere else during photos. Anyway, the glasses got lost, so a few glasses had to be replaced. Thankfully, at my soiree, none of my stemware got broken. But have like some type of identifier for your guests. So they'll know where their glass is. Because if you're having a grand time and you're drinking fabulous champagne, someone's going to lose their glass. It just happens. So that is number 2. So you have identified the champagne that you want to serve, your champagne theme. You've picked out your stemware. Next, we have, for number 3, our guest list. Who are you inviting? I chose to just feature ladies. I always enjoy ladies. I always enjoy having a girls' night with wine. I mean, y'all know I enjoy the company of a gentleman. However, this is a girls' night, and that goes back to the theme. That was my theme. It was champagne for girls' night. It was a champagne soiree. for the ladies. So I chose fabulous ladies who are champagne lovers. So let's begin there. On your guest list, make sure these individuals are champagne lovers, because champagne is not an inexpensive beverage. And you will definitely have a budget for this party. And your budget will not be cheap. You'll have a nice budget. So you want to be able to entertain individuals who enjoy champagne already and just want to elevate their palate, or who just want to enjoy champagne with you. As I said during Fly Wine December on the Le Grand Dame episode, go back and check that out if you missed it, or if you want to watch it again. That's one of my favorites. Anyway, as I said on that episode, memorable champagnes, you remember who you enjoy them with. So you are going to enjoy it. You are going to remember the moment. You are going to remember your party. I remember everything about my champagne soiree. I remember who was there. I remember who liked certain wines. So with wines create memories. So you want to make sure that they're champagne enthusiasts, that they're people that you really enjoy and who you believe that will get along with one another, because you're going to be drinking, and we know that drinking brings joy. So after that joy has been imparted on your guest, y'all know where I'm going to say. After the joy comes out, you still want everyone to remain joyful at your party. You want it to be a hit. Also, because we are drinking champagne, have a dress code for your guests. Oh, hold on. Before we get into dress code, at the time of this recording, we are going through a pandemic. So I will say, keep your guest list low in an effort to minimize the spread of the virus. So keep that in mind. I'll say this. Again, this is recorded during the time of the pandemic. So be mindful of who you want to share this moment with, because you could be inside, you could be outside. You just want to really be mindful and make sure that you're keeping yourself and your guests safe. Back to the dress code. Now, make sure you have a dress code. We are drinking champagne. Everyone needs to come in fabulous. When I say fabulous, fabulous. I was very proud of all my guests. Everyone came with looks. If you follow me on Instagram, that information will be in the description box. If you are currently not following me, you will see that everyone came looking fabulous. So make sure you have a dress code, because it sets the tone for what type of party you're having. And it gets people excited. Like, I remember conversations. People were like, oh my goodness, what am I going to wear? Or I bought this dress for the party. So just have that theme going for your guests. Make sure that it is individuals that you enjoy. And also, because you are hosting your champagne party and you are giving your guests an experience that they probably would not get regularly. I mean, how many people you know having champagne parties? I don't know many people having champagne parties. So yes, this is an elevated experience. Do not minimize it. Especially anyway, it's an elevated experience. Let's get to the point. It's an elevated experience. So make sure you are also inviting people that you enjoy, who will come fabulous, who are champagne lovers, and who will also share this experience on their social media platforms. This, again, an elevated experience. You want people to be able to rejoice in the experience that you gave them, and you definitely want it to be celebrated, because we live in an age of social media, and mentioning it is definitely, that's a plus. So yeah, make sure that's included, depending on what you want to do with your party. But I highly suggest that. So that is suggestion 3. Okay, we are at suggestion 4. I need to pour up a little bit for suggestion 4. So, for suggestion 4, number 4, the food. You have your stemware, you have your guest list, you have your champagne. What are you going to eat? You cannot enjoy champagne on an empty stomach. That is not how it works. Like, no, that's not how it works. So you want to make sure you have a menu. So the way that I created my menu because I wanted each wine to pair with an item. So I created my menu around the champagnes that I was featuring. I also featured some pairings that never fail, like fried chicken and champagne. I'll give you my menu. I did fried chicken wings, truffle fries, lobster mac and cheese, stuffed crab mushrooms to go with the Pinot Meunier led champagne, and then cheesecake. Yes, so those were the 5 items. Oh, and then I also had spinach and artichoke chips as a starter. So those were the items that I created for my menu, and I had the pleasure of working with Chef Ray for this menu. He provided all the fabulous food for the evening that the ladies really enjoyed. I'm not saying for your champagne party you have to get a chef, but I would be mindful of what it is that you want to prepare. Do you want your guests to bring a dish? Do you want to source out certain items? As I mentioned in my first champagne party for my 29th, some items I just purchased that I had prepared at my local grocery store within their prepared food section. So I would say figure out what you can prepare and figure out what you can outsource, because it's going to be a busy day and you don't want to be in the kitchen the entire time. I would also suggest for you not to make anything complicated. Look up some champagne pairings. I love popcorn and champagne, chips and champagne. People really like those cool pairings if they have not learned about them. So make sure you are featuring that. I also just did heavy hors d'oeuvres. You can do a dinner party. I mean, I wasn't hosting a dinner party. I was hosting a champagne soiree. So I didn't want to do dinner party food. I kept it at heavy hors d'oeuvres because I knew that we would be eating throughout the evening, and that was my vision for the evening. So definitely make sure you have a menu in place, because you do not want to have fabulous champagne and no food. That does not work. And that was number 4. So guys, I know that you are noticing that my outfit is different. While I was editing this video, I accidentally deleted tip 5. Real life is happening right now. But I did not want to just leave you all hanging without tip 5, because I think tip 5 is, I want to say it's the most important one, but it definitely is an important one. So, tip 5. Have fun. Have a ball. This is your party. You've taken the time out to come up with a champagne list, a guest list, a menu. You've purchased your stemware. You used your stemware. You have just done everything. Relax. Deliver a fabulous party. Give the information and have a ball. Enjoy yourself. So during my champagne tasting, I had Frank Sinatra playing and the ladies enjoyed it, and after the tasting we turned it into a party. We definitely turned up and had a great time. So make sure you're having fun. Figure out how you want the party to transition throughout the night, but definitely have fun. You have earned it. Drink your champagne and be merry. Let me know which of these tips were your favorite. Comment below if you are planning a champagne party soon, or if you have planned a champagne party and if this video was helpful to you. I trust that it is. I can't wait to hear about you all's parties, because I know they're going to be fabulous. So definitely tag me, comment me, and let me know how they turned out. Until we meet again, drink good, live well.